I was on the verge of basically trying to survive, like eating into my savings. At that point, I was like, okay, maybe I need to just do something, whatever it is. That was pretty much like the beginning of my freelancing of I need to survive.
Photographer, videographer, Asian American activist, foodie, and truly one of the nicest, most genuine people I've met in my life. Jason Leung, welcome to the Heavy Rotation Podcast. How you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm honored to be part of your podcast that you just recently started.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I appreciate it. We're just figuring this out as we go along. Honestly, I think the first 50 episodes are just going to be figuring stuff out, finding our flow, and seeing what works, seeing what doesn't. So this is part of it. I'm glad you're here early, helping us figure this out because, like I said, Jason is a professional videographer. He probably could comment on this whole setup right here, the lighting, the camera setups and everything.
It's quite the setup.
You actually brought your camera right here. There's a Canon, what is that?
R5.
Canon R5, is that your rig of choice for video and photo?
For many, many years, that was my, at least in terms of video, my rig of choice. But for video, for photos mainly, yeah, I run the R5 and the R6
Nice.
for much of it. But I recently acquired a new toy.
Ooh, Canon still or?
Yeah, I'm sticking with Canon.
You're a Canon guy.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm a Canon guy. I recently acquired a Canon C80.
C80. I'm so out of touch with all the new models coming out. Is C80 up there in terms of
It's different.
Okay.
It's basically the cinema line of Canon cameras.
Got it.
So it's purely all video focused. There's no photo taking. I think some of them are photo focused a little bit.
Hybrid type of cameras.
But mainly on video, especially the menus are set for it. But I've been hitting my ceiling for the R5, and especially I can't record past 30 minutes like a Sony A7 or
this one right here.
Oh, can't record past an hour?
Yeah, we're using this. So this is a Sony/DJI setup.
Okay.
So, but these two cameras right here, this is a Sony A7 III and a Sony A7 IV.
Okay.
And this is hooked up to a Ninja that's recording on an SSD to bypass that 30-minute recording limit.
Yeah.
And I'm just really hoping and praying that this SSD doesn't hiccup and have a speed issue. So
has that
I'm going to be
happened
glancing
before,
over
or?
here. It has, yeah. So there's this little kangaroo icon that pops up, and if it's too slow, it'll just stop recording completely. And then I'd have to go over there and tap it to keep it going.
Okay.
So hopefully that doesn't happen. Knock on wood.
Yeah, knock on wood.
But this is the A7 IV.
Yeah.
No 30-minute recording limit for some
good.
reason. And then we have the DJI Pocket 3 as the wide angle with a wide angle adapter on it.
Yeah. Oh, okay. It has. I see.
And you know what? I just looked over here.
Yeah.
And
is this slightly?
Let's
Okay.
change that up
There you go.
Oh.
I mean, you could do it in post too, slightly. Except you can.
You know what? Since I'm here,
Might as well just do it live.
Doing it live.
Might as well.
All right.
I think it's because after a certain time there was a law.
It had to do with something about the import tax.
Yes, correct.
And in order to get around that import tax, you had to have that 30-minute limit so you could classify it technically as a photography camera.
And not a video camera. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that one was probably developed right after that law expired.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I think the R5 was being developed. Probably, I think they've never been confirmed, but what I'm thinking, theorizing, is it's been in development for that time, and then when they submitted all the things, they had to submit that, so they can't remove it until the newer, basically the new models are basically don't have that limit.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Good to know. I did not know that. I was just so curious why the A7 III has a 30-minute limit. Yeah. 4 doesn't. Yeah. Miraculously. This light right here is an aperture. No, it's not. It's an Amaran 150C.
Okay.
So it has the RGB.
Yeah.
With a 4-foot octobox.
And
with
it's
the
pretty
grid.
compact.
Dude, this Octobox softbox, it's amazing. I don't know if you've ever tried these softboxes where it just completely collapses with one move.
Oh yeah. I recently acquired one I think the 60C, and it comes all together in it, and it's just you just pull it and it completely opens, and
and when it folds down, it's just super small, super compact. Yeah. This is amazing compared to what I started with I was a freelance videographer actually too. In 2013, I started, and I bought this. It was like fluorescent light bulbs. And it was like this.
Yes.
There's like six. There's like six of them.
Where you get it on Amazon, right?
I got it on Amazon. There's the 6 fluorescent light bulbs. You got to screw every single one in.
God. Doesn't it get hot too?
It gets super hot. I brought it to shoots. I felt like the biggest idiot, just like screwing in like. It was a 3 light setup, and each light had like 6 bulbs. So I'm just sitting there screwing in these LED bulbs. Yeah. Anyways, I feel like we've gotten really into the weeds with this.
Oh no, yeah.
I
mean, I love this nerdy camera stuff. I mean, I would say this is a pretty good setup.
Yeah.
And like even that small, is this for like a hair light or where you're?
Yeah,
like
I turned on this Elgato key light just to light my face, just give additional lighting on the side of our faces. Yeah, because if I were to turn this off, it could just look super dramatic and like very contrasty, which looks cool.
Yeah.
But I think in this kind of situation, I think it's better if it's more high key lighting as opposed to very super dramatic. Unless we start like talking about really dramatic stuff, then I'll turn that light off, and then we'll get that nice shot.
Maybe we'll get into the weeds of these topics, and then you can turn it off and go very dramatic.
Yeah. Let's get into a little bit more about you.
Yeah.
Just about what projects you're working on as a videographer, as a photographer, and anything else that you want to mention.
Yeah, I guess I'll start with the least things that I do is like photography now. I don't do as much. I think at most is probably food and events for the photography side of it. Like I've been working with a restaurant for almost 3 years now, called Nice. I don't know if you've ever been or even heard of it.
I've seen it from what you posted on Instagram. So if I recall correctly, they're a restaurant in San Francisco?
Yeah, Japanese restaurant in San Francisco, contemporary Japanese, and they have their Michelin star.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And they've had it, ever since, I think when I started there photographing, and I've just been photographing ever since with them. And that was just, I don't do necessarily video with them, but more of... like just do photos, especially if they have collaborations with other chefs that they bring in through different restaurants or other countries. Like they'll fly in like Japanese chefs from restaurants from Japan.
Wow.
And collaborate with them for like 1 or 2 days over a weekend or something like that. Or even like when they do new dishes. I think those are the typical shoots that I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Let's take a step back in time and talk about how you got started in freelance videography and photography in the first place. When did you start, and when did you figure out that it was kind of the thing for you as opposed to like a day job or something like that? Yeah,
good question. I think it started kind of like I mentioned earlier. There was another job that I was doing virtual conferences, like editing videos. I think that was maybe one of the beginning points, because when the pandemic happened, the company I worked at, I was a graphic designer. No one knew in the company how to edit video or use a camera. And like I was the only one who more or less knew. I was already dabbling with stuff, but never really fully played around with it until like, I would say, at that point where they needed someone to edit videos for virtual conferences, and I did it. And I edited 400 hours of footage.
Oh my God.
Because it was like over the course of maybe 1 or 2 years of however long those virtual conferences of the pandemic, right? And it was just like rep after rep after rep. And at that point, I think I was getting much more sufficient at editing videos and learning how to do the multicam, all that stuff, like all the tricks that could save me time, because it was like taking too much time and stuff. And that gave me a lot more confidence, like, oh, I can totally edit videos. And then on the side, I was like, maybe I want to do a project. So I was like, oh, perhaps like maybe one day I can do a documentary, which I enjoy watching, especially food ones. And then I would say, that first big project was asking if I could do a mochi donut documentary.
Nice. So Moto is a mochi donut restaurant or business here in the South Bay, correct?
Yeah. They actually was the original ones who brought mochi donuts to, I guess, North America.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, they're the ones
I did not know
who
that.
started it. Yeah, there's like, I don't know, 2017, 2018.
OGs.
Yeah,
Mochi
they're the
donuts.
OGs.
Mochi.
Before everyone came out, I was like, oh, we're getting like making donuts. But yeah, I did a documentary on them, and that was like the big push point. I was like, oh, okay, maybe I can do more or something like that. Fast forward, I would say, I don't know, a few years later, I was like, maybe I want to do video production or something like that, because I was already doing a lot more different projects on the side outside of work. And there was an opportunity to work at a kind of like pretty much a starting YouTube channel. A family wanted to start their own YouTube channel about cars and kids, and I would be kind of like the main videographer or the production team. And then I think eventually I hired some friends to work with me as part of that video production thing. So I was like, okay, I feel like I can do this if they feel confident on my work of what I do. So that was, I would say, like one of the biggest pivot points where I like, oh, I'm really interested in video production. I don't want to do graphic design anymore. This is not like this. It's my past career.
Yeah.
Essentially. So.
Wow. And what year was that?
I think that was like 2022. Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, 2022.
I see. Okay. Wow. And then since then, this has been your full-time gig, right? Freelance, videography, photography. This is how you make your living.
I was after that year of video production with that that production company kind of thing. Then it was like they winded down the project. That's when I was like,
yeah,
I need to go find a job and stuff, and tried applying to different like videography or photography jobs, but no one was, answering or ghosting you essentially. Yeah. And then I was like on the verge of like basically trying to survive, like eating into my savings and stuff. And I would say at that point I was like, okay, maybe I need to just do something, whatever it is, go work as a production assistant somewhere at a set or whatever, just any money that comes in, it would be best. So I just reached out to like friends and stuff like, hey, so if there's any gigs of like photo or video, like let me know. And then that was pretty much like the beginning of my freelancing of like, I need to survive.
Yeah. It was just out of pure necessity. Like, this is how I'm going to make my living.
Yeah.
And you just kept following that path.
Pretty much. Yeah.
To this day.
Yeah. And then like, I think at that point I built enough network and connections out of that where people keep reaching out for like gigs and stuff where my friends will refer and stuff. And then I would say the two biggest things that I would say happened in that first year was getting the gig at Nisei. That was like June 2023. Yeah, June 2023. And then the following after was getting working with Just One Cookbook. And that was like basically July. Yeah. So both of the things felt like, oh my God, I have something much more tangible that I can keep on working, and it's much more regular. Yeah. So at least I can do other things as well to supplement that.
I see. So Just One Cookbook is a cooking channel, right? They have a cooking channel on YouTube and
she's a recipe. Nami is a recipe blogger at Just One Cookbook. And it's like they started out as a website just sharing Japanese recipes. Yeah. And then they started doing videos as well. And then they recently wanted to get back into YouTube long form recipe videos. So they were looking for like a videographer.
Yeah.
And then
you're the guy, right?
Yeah. My friend actually, I wasn't following them.
Yeah.
I've probably before just cooked one or two recipes when I looked it up. So I totally like didn't quite know who was Just One Cookbook. Yeah. But a friend followed them, saw the story that they were hiring for a videographer and editor, sent that story to me. I was like, oh, perfect. It's food. I love food. Yeah. It's videos, like recipes, like let me go apply. And then when I applied, they were like, we really like your work. Like, we want to work with you. And then the rest is history on that.
Wow. So it's just all about reaching out to your network, asking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if for people who believe in your work and see your work, like they advocate for you.
Yeah. And is that purely just you reaching out to network and saying, hey, do you have any work, or here's my portfolio? Do you show them a portfolio, or do you just say, hey, I'm interested, and then you just kind of have a conversation from there?
I would say a little bit of both, depending on who. Like even for up to like this day, a lot of it is either the people who I know already, they send out my portfolio out to the people who's looking for.
Oh wow!
Things.
So they're already doing your work for you.
A little bit,
you're
yeah.
at this point where you've built enough of a reputation in this niche or this circle that your name is like a common name that goes around. If some people need video or photography, dude, that's it, man.
Yeah,
like you made it at that. You made.
I
it
guess
to that
so.
point.
Yeah, like even today, like I was checking my emails like this morning. I just went to a coffee shop, and then put my thing down, and then I see like 2 or 3 emails of like, hey, are you free this day for photography this day? It's like yeah,
it's just falling into your lap at this point.
Yeah,
but that was the result of you putting in that work initially, putting in the legwork, just reaching out to as many people as you possibly could.
Yeah.
So, and now it's just paying dividends basically.
For sure. Yeah. And of course, like you're working with your like clients and stuff too. And then they like, if you do good work and what you put out too, and they really resonate. So they'll like literally like ask if they know anyone or their colleague is looking for a project or something or a friend that they know, they start just referring you out. And that's how it happens.
Wow. Dude, that's awesome, man. I'm happy for you.
Thank you.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
So let's segue into what is a day in the life of a freelancer like, just from the moment you get up to, working your gigs and anything you do after that, or are you just kind of working all the time? Because I know when I was doing freelance stuff, it just never ended, right? It's just I was actually working my day job and freelancing at night. It's a lot, man. But I mean, I think a lot of people underestimate how much work freelancing really is. Like on one hand, it sounds like the dream because you're working on your own terms, you're working your own hours, but then you realize those hours extend beyond 9 to 5 or 8 hours or whatever. For sure. It's just basically overtime all the time.
And then you have on top of that admin work.
Yes. Yeah. Taxes, doing all this other stuff.
Invoices. Yeah, right?
Exactly.
To get money, to get paid and stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I just want to hear about just a day in the life, what you typically do, just when you work a gig.
Yeah. I mean, on a day-to-day basis, like it varies. Like I would say maybe example for this week, I had a lot of gigs here and there. So say one day if it was a gig, I would say the day before, I make sure pack up all the gear that I need for that day, for the next day or something like that. Like pack it all in my car and make sure, okay, I have all these things in order to get the job done. And then if I have some time, then I would just like go to a coffee shop and just like either do editing photos or editing videos or answering like basically all the rest of the admin work that I need to do in order for me to continue, like answer all the emails that are coming in. So I need to intake those clients and see, like talk to them and do a kind of like a discovery call, right? To see like, oh, what do they need? Is this, even though it's like people refer them out to me, like I may not be the one that, like the style that I do may not be for them or whatever they're looking for. I may not be the one that they're looking for. Then I can just like basically source it out to other people that I know. So like, yeah, it really varies. If it's a shoot day, typically it would be like, if it's a whole day, it would be like 8 hours, like a typical full day thing, or even a half day. Then afterwards, I just need to ingest footage and then start like editing or doing other things. So it's like, it's a lot, and every day is so different.
Yeah.
Like for this week, I was driving up and down San Francisco, kind of like doing shoots, but also like working out of a coffee shop or meeting up with a friend. So I'll say that balance, I never stop working. I'm always editing a video or something, but it still feels good.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing where I'm doing a lot of cool stuff despite me being tired, but it's still very fulfilling. And that keeps me going, I would say.
With all that being said, do you have a work-life balance, or do you believe in that term of work-life balance, or is your life meshed in with your work? at this point?
I think lately I've been saying yes to a lot of work because typically Q1 is the slowest for me from what I discovered last year. But actually this year has been a little bit better. But when I say yes, then my work-life balance is like, it's mostly a lot of work. But I think I sprinkle in time to meet up with friends, but it's all like kind of like scheduling it all in. Like, you know, scheduling you in like for this podcast and stuff. Are like, okay, let's do this and stuff. Or like if my friend's like, oh, let's grab dinner or something. It's like, okay, when you're free, here are my days that I'm free that are I can maybe squeeze in for it. Or just sometimes if it's just a day where I'm supposed to be working and then I end up hanging out with a friend in a way, and then like the whole day is just like hanging out with a friend. Like sometimes I just like just not necessarily just do work. Yeah. Even though I had my mind to do work, it's like, oh, I got so much stuff to do. And then in the back of my mind, I have to edit, I have to do all these things. But I sometimes try and be present with it if I'm hanging out with a friend and catching up or doing something. Yeah. I think those kind of like balance it out. But those are far in between depending on how busy my schedule is. Yeah. But I try and just schedule those things in, or just like, even like my friends that have businesses, like even coffee shops, I would just like go in, even though I'm doing my work, I would just catch up with them, talk, see how they're doing and other stuff, and then go back to doing my work. And yeah.
So do you have anything you do to kind of let loose or kind of turn off your brain and, you know, turn off work mode and get out there? Is it, from what I've been hearing, it's just hanging out with friends, or just, you know, grabbing something to eat or something like that?
Yeah, I think it used to be kind of watching all the movies and shows, but I think at this point I don't have time to watch movies and shows. There's like a laundry list of things to watch.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of good stuff out now too.
There's so much.
Yeah, we can talk about it off camera.
Off camera. Yeah.
There's so too much good stuff though. Like I feel like Q1, like all the good stuff comes out and you're like, wow. Yep.
And
all my free time.
I know, like even, you know, friends and stuff start recommending things. Oh, you should watch this. You should watch that. Yeah. I don't have the time, but I think take my mind off is kind of a bit of a driving. Like I'm a little bit of like, those are my way of doing shower thoughts in a way.
Just in your car?
In my car, driving to like SF or
Do you
Oakland.
record your thoughts by chance? Or did it kind of just in your head?
Just in my head.
I see.
I think until I like think that idea is definitely the way, then I'll start writing it down.
Interesting.
But I just let it work around as I'm driving and stuff, and just think about like say a video idea or something like that. Then I'll just start where it's like, okay, what do I connect it to or something like that? Yeah.
Cool. I actually just want to show you something really quick. But it's basically a microphone that you can just clip to your shirt or something like that. So this is from Anchor. They make a lot of like, peripheral devices, cables and stuff. Right. So this is called the Soundcore Work. And basically you just hit this button on the side. Yeah. Starts recording. Records everything you say. Yeah. Just like shower thoughts. Right. Just voice notes or something like that. Stream of consciousness. I actually wear this when I go for a walk or a run. Yeah. I'm just, you know, talking while I'm running or walking. And then what it does in the app is it summarizes what you said. It just uses AI to kind of summarize everything. I ask it to make some action items, like a to-do list based on what I was talking about. Right. But I don't know, it's cool. I like it. It's interesting. Not sponsored at all.
I know. Maybe they could sponsor. Yeah.
Shout out to Anchor. I have a lot of your products.
Same.
Yeah. But it's cool. I mean, I think nothing will replace just pen and paper. I think that's still the best way to, you know, get your thoughts out and kind of decompress. But that's just cool technology, in my opinion.
Of course,
it's probably listening to everything I say and just like creating this profile of me.
I think so.
The data.
It's kind of like ChatGPT, right?
Yeah.
Where it knows too much about you, but it could help you organize your thoughts. It is you. It's the duplicate of you. Yeah. Maybe we're going too much Black Mirror territory.
Yeah. We're already there.
I know.
We're already there.
We kind of are.
We're living Black Mirror IRL.
Yeah.
Good show, by the way. Good show. Did you watch the first season
of Black Mirror? It was so hard to watch.
I needed a cold shower after every single episode. I feel like it's kind of lost its edge a bit
little
with like
bit,
the
yeah.
American versions and especially the most recent season. But yeah, those first 2 seasons, I was like, why am I watching this? This
It hurts every
this
time.
is insane.
Yeah.
Like there's some like that show, movies that I've seen that you watch once and you're like, cool, I'll never watch that again, but
Yeah.
it was a good movie that's gonna stick in my brain forever, you know. But anyways, I don't want to get
Too deep into the Black Mirror
then we can
world.
just start talking about movies and
could.
shows and stuff. But let's get back to your freelance business and talk about that, and how you got started doing that, and things that you wish that you knew when you first started your freelance business, whether it's getting clients or, you know, how you charge your rates or tax stuff or, you know, anything that anyone who's watching right now who may be interested in getting into freelance design or photography, maybe some tips that they could take away from all your years of experience.
Yeah. I guess, getting started is like getting that first client, or at least ones that it's much more like kind of like a retainer one, right? The most continuous one. That's the hard one. I think that's when you start building build your portfolio or start putting in the work. I would say that advice would be, just start doing something. Don't just like say like, oh, I want to get to this point or get hired by this client or something. Just start doing it.
I need this gear. I need this camera.
I know.
Need these lights. Dude, when I first started back in 2013, I had a Canon T2i.
Yeah.
I had those ghetto fluorescent lights from Amazon. And I was like, hey, do you need a video? I'll do it for free.
Yeah.
I'll do it for like $400.
Yeah.
And, you know, these were just these random small businesses that I walked into, like a barber shop. I was like, hey, do you guys need a video? And they're like, yeah, I guess. Sure. And then I just sat the owner down, you know, got the lighting a little bit right. And then that eventually led to a retainer contract from the city of Concord, which is where I grew up.
Oh.
And I was just doing gigs for them from 2013 to 2019.
Oh, I think I remember you mentioning from before, like the conversations. Yeah.
That was just all from bringing my camera into the shop and in the barber shop and asking. And then the barber was cutting someone's hair who worked for the city. And he was like, hey, I know this guy. He just came in and shot a video. Maybe you reach out to him. And then like getting my first freelance check, I remember getting it in the mail. I was like, and I just looked at it in disbelief.
Yeah.
Because I made more money in 2 days than I did in like a month at my day job at the time.
Yeah.
It made no sense. It completely turned my idea of money or the exchange of, you know,
services
time
and goods
services for money completely upside down. And I was like, why am I still at my day job? Like, that was a very pivotal moment where I could have just transitioned, but, you know, here I am. But, you know.
I mean, it depends. You know, it's on the journey of what you thought and stuff. Yeah. I think, like, for me, I've always thought about just staying at a stable job. Like, that graphic design, I think it would have continued and maybe switched a different company or something like that. I think when I think about, like, freelancing, it would have been, like, I was like, nah, it's like unstable. How am I going to get more like consistent clients and all this stuff? But I think once you start building that kind of like network, and then of course, like I like to call that the butterfly effect, where it's like you put yourself out there, you made something, and lo and behold, like this barber was cutting the guy who works at the city and all that stuff, and then it all comes, right? If you didn't do that first step of making that video, it wouldn't have happened. Yeah. Right. It's like a lot of serendipitous moments, which I feel like through these like almost 3 years of freelancing, I have many, many examples of that where it's just like, I did this gig here and there. Then they refer me out to other things because of so-and-so, or they know someone or so-and-so. It's like magic
in a way. It's like, you don't believe it until it starts happening. And then you just find yourself in this completely different position that you never thought you could be, you know, a year prior or something like that. Right?
No, yeah, for sure. I mean, I didn't think I would be surviving up until this, like literally 3 years, almost 3 years of freelancing.
And it's still going. Like, it's still growing. You're still building your network, your reputation.
Yeah, no, yeah, for sure. I mean, I think I've definitely built a reputation within my community already. And I'm trying to like expand it more to like, maybe I can go like LA more or like across the country or something like that. That would be really cool to do that. But yeah, it's definitely like literally putting yourself out there first. Do something. Don't just say, oh, I want to do that, right? Just anything. Just try it out.
Yeah.
Have no expectations, or try to have no expectations, and just work on your craft and practice. Because if you're not doing the craft and practicing it, how are you gonna get good at it? Or even like I guess like in a way giving yourself feedback. You're like, okay, no, this is not good, right? Let me move to like kind of like how you were doing. You're like, okay, this frame is not good. Let me change it, right?
Yeah.
Just keep improving.
Yeah.
I would say changing that frame, right?
This is bugging me. Like there's not enough of our legs.
I know.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, that's great. That's great to hear. That's something I want to lead into is like intrinsic motivation, right? I think we live clearly in this day and age of instant gratification. People want all the adulation, they want the accolades, they want fame, they want the rewards.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of people use that as their motivation, the extrinsic motivation. On one hand, you have to play the game. Like social media is a game, but I think what really matters is just that you try to get better with everything that you do. Like just try to be 10% better, 1% better than the last thing you did.
Oh no, yeah.
And don't pay attention to the metrics, right? Like the metrics will mess you up, like the followers and the likes and the comments and stuff. Yeah, I think what really matters is just that slight improvements, over time and doing it because you love it. And that, I feel like I'm doing all this for free right now, right? But I'm just doing this because I've been doing this my whole life and truly enjoy it, and I'm glad you're able to find that in your work.
Yeah, I think you enjoying it actually carries it more, especially people see that passion, right? Especially doing this podcast and stuff, you're talking about things that really stick to you or want to know or curious about, right? If you're not, then why are you doing it?
Yeah,
in the same place. So I think being able to try not to think about the numbers, or even from like kind of like same for my Instagram. I don't necessarily post to gain followers. I mostly post in a way like kind of like a diary, like a photo diary or whatever
just
stuff
how
I'm
it
working.
originally was intended.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Like back in 2010 when
right?
Instagram
And
first started.
So you can kind of like basically scroll through your whole life and see how much you've improved, how much you've changed, what you've been working on. Yeah. But more or less like these days, it kind of act as my portfolio for clients.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not followers in terms of like, oh, you're a content creator or something trying to build that.
Brand deals.
Yeah, brand deals and stuff. I mean, would be cool to get those brand deals, right? But I think like having those clients and building those relationships has been, I think, the most, I would say, important ones for me to get started in like freelancing.
Nice. That's the way it should be. I mean, I feel like whenever I open up Instagram right now, it's just memes and like on Instagram Reels and stuff like that. I'm like, oh man, it's a whole different world now.
It is. I mean, I think it's because people are like, they're working 9 to 5, but they need some basically like turn off your brain scrolling, right? It's the one to feed into that. But I think it really depends, right? I think if you wanted to create, I do make those like, I don't want to say like meme things for like Modo, but we're trying to get the brand out there so people can remember and just keep building that brand.
It sticks. It works. So it's like learning the vocabulary, right, of these platforms. Like Instagram vocabulary or Instagram format is totally different from TikTok.
Oh no, yeah, for sure.
Right. So it's just learning the language, learning the kind of like meta of each of those platforms.
Yeah. And I think at the end of the day, it's good storytelling. If you wanted to tell a good story.
True. Yeah.
I think that carries on, right? People stick with the story. Hence why we watch movies and TV and stuff.
Absolutely.
Or listen to podcasts.
Yeah. This is it.
Yeah.
We were listening to the story of Jason Leung, the saga of Jason Leung. And So you've talked about you've talked a little bit about your clients that you work with.
Yeah.
Do you have any notable clients that you truly enjoy working with? Just to give them a quick shout out.
Yeah.
Here. Yeah.
I would say definitely like Nisei. The whole team at Nisei over the years has been great. Like they really trust me with what they want me to like work on. They're like, we trust you with your vision or something like that. So I think they've been a great like. I would say, yeah, great client to work with.
That's
for
great.
over basically I've been working with for 2.5 years
so
since the
cool.
beginning.
So you're like in the kitchen, like the chefs,
Yeah.
plating, everything.
Everything,
Like,
yeah.
You're in it with them.
Yeah. Especially if they do collaborations or the dinners and stuff, I'm there all day to capture behind the scenes in like in the kitchen or in the front where the front of house, certainly, I don't want to say waitresses. I don't think they're called waitresses for front of house, but I just capture all that, what they're doing, and especially the food on the dishes, because both the food of like the ingredients from the different farms or producers and even the ceramics, right? The plating and all the stuff, like all that, like all working together.
Do they give you free food?
I would say the things that I shoot, I do eat it,
Nice.
depending on what it is. But I also like they have me during family meal.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
So I
You're
get
part
to
of
like
the family.
Yeah, pretty much. I just eat before I do my full shoot
Yeah.
with them and stuff.
That's a good way to do it. So you're not hungry while you're shooting and
Yeah.
you're like out of focus.
No, I mean you're running around all night
Yeah.
trying to get the
Very
photos.
physical job, man.
It is a physical
Videography is super physical. You're carrying all your gear, lights.
That's my gym. This is essentially my gym. I just work out with holding gear.
Some good cardio. Dude.
It is cardio,
Yeah,
yeah.
some weight resistance. Yeah.
Yeah. I would say other notable clients would be Just One Cookbook. They've been super sweet and working with them and being able to kind of like, trust me with my vision or lighting the whole kitchen that they have, right? And getting angles and whatever stuff. And yeah, they've been really great.
Do you use a Steadicam? I swear I've seen you wearing this like vest, this big.
That's not
rig.
a Steadicam though.
Okay.
It's an Easy Rig.
Easy rig.
Yeah,
Okay.
Easy Rig, different.
I see.
The Easy Rig is a little pole that goes over, so it can hold basically, so you can put all the weight onto your shoulders and hips. Versus like if you have like a giant ass camera,
It's all here.
like your arms and stuff. You're gonna get tired, especially I do a lot of events that are like 6-8 hours or 4 hours or something like that, right? So I need something where I don't get tired of holding, but I can go a lot longer with that.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool. That looks badass. I've just seen pictures of you just fully rigged up.
Rigged up, yeah. I'm known. At events, people just know me because I have that rig.
Really?
Just
like, oh, there's
that's
Jason
it.
with the
Yeah,
giant
exactly.
string hanging.
He's
from
like,
him.
hey, that's the dude with the giant ass camera.
So on the other side of the spectrum, are you willing to talk about any horror stories that you've had on shoots or gigs or anything like that you're comfortable sharing?
Yeah, I would say maybe 2. I would say there was one time where I had booked a shoot for photography and I like did not put it in the calendar, and on the day of, or I just totally forgot. And then the client messaged me the next morning. He's like, "Oh, I didn't see you." And I'm like, "Oh, like I totally forgot. I am so sorry. Like I missed this event because I didn't put it in my like calendar. I apologize and stuff." But they replied with like one word answers, and I was like, oh. And it was like a good friend that I've known, and that was like the toughest. Like it felt so bad.
So you made the mistake of not scheduling it in
That
your
too.
calendar.
I mean, now when I talk about it or think about it too, there was a bit of both where the team that I was working with to schedule it never confirmed with like the contract or something like that. I would say it's a bit of both, but I just felt bad because like I still would have been there even if it's like it was still going through that process.
Yeah, I see.
I just felt so bad. Like it's
like miscommunication.
Yeah,
right?
miscommunication, and it happens. It happens, and I try not to think about it too much.
Yeah.
There was another one where I was working with a video, and the turnaround needed to be quick, but the revisions and stuff, me sending it back to the client and stuff, took way too long, and it went past what is needed.
That scope creep.
Yeah, that
basically.
scope creep. And they were like, hey, this is taking too long. We're going to have to end it here. So I never got to complete that project. Whatever at that point, we just stopped right there. And I felt so bad. Like, I was like, oh, I could have had more time, where I was like spread so thin at that time, which is also a pretty bad problem too. If you're spread so thin doing so many things, that you're like, you just let the ball drop, and it sucks.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's part of the learning process, right?
Yeah.
It's one of those lessons that you have to learn firsthand to see how far you can push your limits, and then to see what breaks.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, let's dial it back a little bit so we don't do that again. Yeah. I totally understand. But otherwise, your clients have been pretty good. Pretty good to work with. And all that.
I think everyone who has been like
That's
really
good.
great.
Because everyone kind of knows each other, right?
Yeah.
They're all generally like, they vet each other by default. Kind of, right?
And I kind of weed out clients who are not like very responding or like other stuff, and I kind of like feel that, right? You just have a sense of like, oh, I don't know if I want to continue working with this.
Just based on like what they're asking for, or
That
if they're too vague or they're like way too specific, you're like, okay, this might be a nightmare. It's a nightmare to work with,
for sure.
You know?
Yeah, and I think that's when you do it in discovery call sometimes too. And it
just kind of get a feel for it. We actually met in 2022, I want to say. Somewhere around there, 2022, 2023.
I think so, yes. Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah, the creative meetups from Xhilo. And yeah, I just remember seeing you there with your camera. I was like, oh, cool, this guy's a video guy or camera guy too. So I think we just started talking about camera stuff. And then, fast forward to maybe a year or two later, I actually hired you to do some video for
Your
my
first
music.
EP, your EP, right?
Yeah, so that visual on that record, that's a still from what you shot.
You just cut that out.
Yeah, it's actually a record. Like that has all the music on it and everything. So it's a picture disc. So that's a still from your camera work. So thank you, man. Thank you for getting that dope shot. It was like the lens flare, the sun coming through. Yeah, it
was like the backlit.
Dope.
It was like super backlit,
and that's
hour.
all. There's like no filter on that. It's all natural. So yeah, that was awesome.
That was so fun that day.
Yeah, that was
cold,
a good time.
Slightly cold.
Super cold. It was like the middle of summer. Like July or August or something. It's still freezing, of course, because we're in Northern California.
Yep.
That's how the beaches are.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, how has being on the core team of the Xhilo Creative Meetups, how has that benefited you? And just what was your experience of being a core team leader of the Xhilo Creative Meetups?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think it's been amazing, like an experience in terms of like seeing people connect with each other, because that's what the whole meetups are about, like connecting with people, sharing their own stories and being able to support each other, right? Our main thing is like community over competition, right? Like if there's a gig or something, you share it out, right? If there's any things that you have questions about of someone who already is in doing something, like for me, like video or photography, then you can come ask or something or whatever. And being that supportive within that community, I think that was been a cool part of being the core team, and being able to kind of like put that together for once a month and seeing everyone come together and see those fruitful. Because like it's kind of like way earlier, right? You were doing your work with this barbershop and then, meeting a thing. Same thing with at a meetup, right? You meet someone who's like, hey, I'm just starting out as a photographer. Then you're like, see their work, or they wanted to work on stuff. And then you can more or less like, I really like what you're doing and what you're like really want to learn. You can send out things to them to try and, work it out or something. And that builds their own confidence in working their out. But also, there are things that you can't necessarily know that happens outside of that, after that connection has been made within that creative meetup, right? There's so many other collaborations that happen and all stuff. And that's, I think, pretty cool about it.
Yeah. Yeah, we were talking about it last episode with Curtis,
Yeah.
who founded the whole meetup, and we talked about how it just feels very organic, right? I guess technically it is a networking event.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a place
You
where
choose
you
to
can,
be here,
yeah,
right?
absolutely. But it still just feels like friends. It feels welcoming, right? It doesn't feel like I need to find a job. I need to get a job out of this or something.
Yeah.
You can, but at the same time, it's just people who truly just want to hang out with each other, and
Yeah.
people who truly enjoy seeing each other in environments like this, whether it's at Google, whether it's at Apple, whether it's at wherever we've had it, coffee shops. I've lost count of all the places that we've had meetups.
Yeah.
And it's been awesome, man. I mean, I feel like, yeah, we wouldn't be here, if those meetups hadn't started.
No, for sure. I think
know?
I wouldn't have gotten a lot of my gigs, like especially Curtis.
Really?
He sent me quite a few like gigs and stuff my way because like he was busy. He was like trying to get a job at Adobe or something like that, right? He's trying to do his own thing, and he sent me his gigs or people who were looking for a photographer or videographer to send it my way and stuff. So
Yeah.
it was having those opportunities and stuff and being able to find that community too, right?
Yeah.
I think if you're usually a creative, you're working alone or something like that.
Very isolating sometimes. Yeah.
And like, find that community to do work sessions or something like that. And I found quite a few great like friendships through, especially the core team.
Yeah.
Where I have a great friendship as well every time we meet and catch up with each other. And even outside of that, people I met I've still been talking to. Like, I don't know if you remember Lay.
I do. I think I met her once. Yeah. Yeah.
It's been like 3 years since we met at that Adobe event and stuff. And she's been growing as a creative. She's being a content creator right now.
That's awesome.
And she was like, reached out to me and like, hey, I want to learn how to edit videos. Can you teach me?
Yeah.
Because she wanted to be creating videos because that's what she wanted.
Yeah.
And now she's like
Doing her thing.
You're doing her thing and also moving to Germany to do her thing outside of there.
Germany.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Man, that's cool. That's a big change.
It is a big change.
That's awesome. Good for her.
Yeah.
I'm happy for her. That's really cool. I mean, we wouldn't be sitting here right now if it wasn't for the meetups. And,
No.
this podcast wouldn't even have started if Jeremy and Anthony and I hadn't met at
That's
the meetups.
true.
So
Yeah.
we're all here because of it. So shout out to Curtis.
I know. Shout out to Curtis.
I know we talked about it earlier, but just switch gears really
Yeah.
quick. Switch gears to your gear list.
Yeah.
What is your gear of choice? I know we talked about your Canon R5.
Yeah. R5.
So R5 sitting right there.
Yeah.
Do you want to pull it up?
Yeah,
and then
I
we
can
can just
pull
check
it
it out.
This is my, I guess, when I do food photography, kind of setup. I use the R5 because it has a lot of megapixels. I think 45 megapixels.
Ooh, wow.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
It can shoot 8K video if you want it.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
8K.
8K, yeah, I know.
Can I check it out?
Yeah. It's a beast because it's kind of rigged out for video.
Man, this is the lens 90 millimeter macro.
Yeah,
Wow,
it's a
okay.
tilt shift.
Oh wow!
Have you seen a tilt shift?
I have seen them on the internet,
Oh,
but I've never seen
in
one
person.
in person.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah.
This is how you make everything look like toys, right?
You can, yes.
Like if you do,
you
like,
can,
cityscapes
yes,
and
yes,
stuff?
yeah. You can do that too.
Yeah.
But this is not a wide one, so
I see.
it will be a less of a thing unless I'm far away, I guess.
Wow.
But yeah, that's
awesome.
that's a tilt shift. It's so I can like move that plane of focus, especially if I'm shooting
Food.
and
Yeah.
I'm doing a deep depth of focus where I want to see the whole plate.
Yeah.
But then if I'm shooting at an angle, that plane of focus is like only so much. So I kind of rotate it so I can be parallel to say the dish and the
Wow.
food and stuff. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
I know.
Yeah.
But yeah, totally rigged out with the cage and like a bar so I can put it for video work and stuff.
So this is for both photo and video.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's cool. And then like lights, any other gear that you like to use? I see that Peak Design bag, I think.
Oh, no,
right there.
yeah. I have way too many Peak Design bags.
Yeah. Oh.
That's fine. I just chuck it. It's
Yeah,
totally fine.
it's a tank.
It's a tank.
It has a
It is
cage on
tank.
it. It'll be fine.
It'll be fine. Yeah, I have a lot of Peak Design bags.
Yeah, Peak Design is amazing. Just everything. Their straps. Bags. My friend has one of their tripods. I forgot,
yeah?
like the
Yeah.
carbon fiber one that's super light but huge at the same time. It's really cool.
I have like all the travel stuff. They're like roller bag. They're the roller case and all the things just to hold my gear.
Yeah.
Or even just like day-to-day stuff. Like this is my 30-liter everyday backpack.
Nice.
Heavy as heck. But I have a lot of my stuff and things for me to be a digital nomad.
Yeah, everything
to
you
work.
need.
Yeah, everything I need to work out of a coffee shop or somewhere and whatnot. I have a charger, or if I have an outlet, so I can just quickly just continually charge things.
Nice.
Yeah, so a lot of that. I would say lights. I have way too many lights.
You have like one chosen light of choice that you like to use?
They're pretty massive. They're the aperture ones.
300?
No.
600?
Yeah, 600. Yeah.
Yeah, how many? Multiple? 600s?
I have two 600s.
Wow.
Yeah, it's because I do a lot of like those either documentaries or like the interviews type stuff.
And you basically have to light the whole room almost, right?
Either light the whole
room. You're pretty far
room.
away from the subject, right?
Not necessarily. It just gives me a lot of latitude if I need to overpower the sun if I'm doing it outside-ish.
Nice, got it.
Or just like if it's too bright, or just trying to balance the outside as well from if you're shooting inside. Yeah. But it just gives me more options stuff, and I can just like work whatever. So at least I have it on hand. I'm able to take it out and go on a gig instead of just like renting it.
Yeah, I have that's to like, good. Because this is your full-time job, so you might as well, invest in it. Don't have to worry about going to rental store.
Which we don't have that many out here, right? Yeah. In a short amount of time, unless you're down in LA.
Yeah, exactly.
You can quickly get it on the day of or something like that.
So the one service I use up here a lot, back when I lived up
is it Borrow Lenses?
Borrow Lenses in San Carlos, because it was right down the street from my office.
Yeah.
That I worked out, so I would just stop by before work or whenever, pick up a lens.
It's now Lens Rental. They still doing it. Yeah, Lens Rental bought Borrow Lenses, and then it's a different office, but still within San Carlos area.
Got it.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you can rent it out from there and pick it up.
Nice.
So yeah.
I rented way too many lenses from that place.
I know, but it's like a good way to test lenses.
It is. It's a lot of fun.
And then you buy it later.
Yeah. Let's talk about your love for food a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have a food discoveries Instagram channel where you post pretty much daily food recommendations, restaurants opening up around the Bay Area.
Yeah.
Where did this love from food start? I mean, this is just like you seem very passionate about all of this. Like you're up on it. Like you're up on the news of new restaurants opening and all that stuff.
I guess my food started like kind of like in maybe high school or even college, where I started going out more and eating with friends, and then trying different places and bringing my camera. I think that was the biggest thing, was like bringing my camera and just like capturing it for fun.
Yeah.
And then I would just go to whenever there's a new one and my friends want to go try, I was like, okay, let's go. And then I think that's been like the whole thing throughout my whole years as I'm growing up through. And to this day, I'm still looking for new places to try or whatever and keeping up with it. And
it's like a hobby, basically.
In a way, in a hobby. Yeah. And I think that accelerated when I met a lot of like working at Nisei. Like you meet the chefs there, and then they do like, collaborations.
These are like the top of the
essentially
like, type of chefs.
In a way, yeah. And like you just meet other chefs who also basically they want to. Food is their love language. That's why they get into that business, right?
Yeah.
They want to share that, cook for people.
Yeah.
And I enjoy and love the stories that they tell with their food. And then been seeing people open up their own restaurant or seeing their own business, whether it is sometimes things that come up as like franchises or something. But there's a reason why they wanted to get into that business or something like that. Yeah. And I think even, especially I go up in SF a lot, the pop-up culture is the one that's like hard to keep up with. And that's like the discovery of new bakers, new other food businesses and food pop-ups that are unique and different from what people can make in restaurants, right? They make their own food, but there's little bakers who wants to put out their version of certain things, or there's like, oh, we haven't seen this, we want to make this out there, and then they just pop up. Like there's just so many.
It's like a lot more experimental.
For sure, right? And they're able to kind of build a business off of that and eventually perhaps build a bakery or other brick and mortar and stuff. And that's, I think keeping up within that, like looped into the food industry, which is why I have that food discovery. Because like my friends ask, like, oh, is there any new places? Because I'm always eating or looking at other places, and I follow all these different things for pop-ups and whatnot. And I think it's like, as friends, I connect. Most of my friends is connecting through food.
Yeah.
A majority of them. That's how I meet them.
Wow.
Is through food.
Yeah.
And we would hang out and chat over food, talk about things over food, making food or sharing those, like giving it out, you know?
Yeah.
I think that's why I'm like super into that and discovering new places.
That's cool. In addition to, you know, your video work with food, you've also been very active in Asian American activism here in the Bay Area. You're wearing a shirt for Asians Are Strong.
Yeah.
I know you're a member of other organizations as well. I just want to touch on that and just talk about, you know, what work you've been doing for them, and then just, you know, where they're at right now.
Yeah. I didn't think I would be calling myself an activist. Not until, I guess, doing documentaries and stuff about that, or making rallies during that pandemic, the Stop Asian Hate. And that was the climax of it all. And then that's where I met Asians Are Strong, which wasn't an organization back then. They were just a rally, that was different. They wanted to switch it up and try to change that perception of Asians overall, right? Asians are strong. And I've been working with them ever since, and I've been doing all their videos, works, like promoting, marketing wise. And that has been like an incredible way for me to tap into the communities all over, especially San Francisco, and including Chinatown, which I kind of grew up going to. Even though I lived in the South Bay, I would almost go every weekend, and just connecting with that community and being able to revitalize and be part of that revitalization of like Chinatown and doing that. And yeah, for Asians Are Strong, we do a lot of like, I mean, we were known for self-defense lessons on our like videos of protecting yourself in the case where what was happening. Like if there was a video that happened for an elder or something like that, they would kind of like break it down. Like, this will happen. Here's how you can prevent it or do this move or something like that. And it started through all that. And we wanted to build a community for it. So we are doing 3 kind of like signature events throughout the year. And like the first one was because I think the Atlanta spa shooting that happened in 2021, which is the reason why Asians Are Strong started, was they were fed up with it. And they wanted to build this event to have people come together, and more or less started as like to break the silence, but then it evolved into what we call now Asian Women Are Strong, to celebrate the achievements of Asian women, and bringing it as kind of like a summit of topics that they could talk about within people either in the industry or kind of well known. And like that one's coming up like really soon. So that's like one of the biggest projects in the background that I'm working on, is like doing design of graphic design stuff for Asian Women Are Strong. And like later today, I'm like driving up to SF to work with my founders to kind of storyboard on a video to promote that, like, cause it's on March 7th.
Wow.
So it's like coming up real soon. So that's like one of the big ones. And our second one is like our Heritage 5K. And that one was really cool. Is like you run in a 5K around San Francisco, and you hit up like 20 plus different AAPI landmarks that you may never know if you drove around and stuff, right? I discovered through this that there's a Little Saigon in San Francisco. Did you know that?
I did not. No, where is it?
It's in the Tenderloin.
Oh, I think I've heard about that. There's like a lot of good Vietnamese restaurants.
Yeah, but it's only like literally 2 blocks and that's it.
Wow.
There's like things that signify this is Little Saigon, but like I never knew that until like we had this Heritage 5K and stuff.
Yeah.
And you run around and you kind of learn. We have like fun fact boards, and you can do a regular 5K and just run it as, you know, people practice, but you can just walk it and learn, or meet other people and talk about things and learn things.
Wow, that's really cool.
Yeah. And then our last one, which is one of my favorites because it's about food. Because, right, like food brings people together regardless of cultures. And we wanted to bring all other cultures to kind of like come together and have conversations over food or something like that, right? Breaking bread. That's the biggest point. We had multiple ones. It was like Asian and Black, and then Asian and Latino. That was like one of the things before we end up becoming, I was like, oh, let's do something called World of Dumplings, where pretty much almost every culture has a version of it. Yeah, some form of it. So that was our biggest one, where we did one our second year, last year in October. We brought over like 16,000 people at the Ferry Building.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's all people trying different dumplings, learning about things, right? And we had like food demos and stuff, and people got to try dumplings they never had or heard that, oh, that is a dumpling. And we have like 30 different fun fact boards about those different dumplings in each country or something like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
I want to go to one of those. That
Please.
sounds like super fun. Are you guys doing it again?
Yeah, we plan on doing it together. I think that typically happens in October, World of Dumplings.
Okay.
And then our Heritage 5K happens in May, in parts of the AAPI Heritage Month. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, Asian Women Are Strong is March 7th.
Awesome. That's awesome, man. Like, just based on everything you've talked about, it seems like, you have been able to spend the last couple of years finding your footing in the freelance world, but then also finding a way to thrive in it and do truly meaningful work, with Asian American organizations and food, and blending those things together, right?
Yeah.
So that's pretty badass, man. I'm very proud of you, and I'm happy that you've been able to make this happen. In addition to all the work that we've done together, whether it's been for my music stuff or taking pictures of us and our baby,
Yeah, even this now too.
Yeah,
doing this with you.
This whole thing. Yeah. That we're in the same room together and just being able to catch up and kind of reflect on the last couple of years that we've known each other. So yeah, I mean, again, I say this like every episode. I feel like I'm so glad I moved down here, because I didn't realize how big the creative scene really was.
Yeah.
Down here in the South Bay, but I'm glad we all connected. That we all are doing stuff that we really love, stuff that we're really passionate about. And yeah, it's really cool seeing everyone thrive and in their element.
And other people supporting each other through all that too.
Yeah, it makes it so much better.
Oh no, yeah.
Right?
We're doing life together, right?
Yeah, and it's just like everyone's cheering each other on, and there's a handful of people watching this podcast right now, and it's just like mainly people that we know in real life, and that's still really cool. Mm-hmm. If they can take something away from it, at least one thing away from these episodes, it makes it all worth it. Yeah. And on top of it, I just enjoy doing all this stuff and getting to have these conversations with people.
Absolutely.
These conversations are very rare, uninterrupted conversations where we can actually really truly catch up and also document it. Last thing before we sign off, what advice do you have for any creatives who may just be starting out in their own endeavors?
Yeah, I would say just, if you haven't got started, definitely get started. If the roadblock is you try and figure out like a way to find a project for you to kind of learn those skills in order to do it. Like I would say, like, was it Adam Savage? You know who that is?
Mythbusters.
Yeah. He's one of my role models, because he's also a lifelong freelancer. And he has such great advice over the years. And he was like, I think it's on one of the episodes or something, he was talking about that a professor at his kids, like, how do I get these kids to learn or be engaged in what they're doing in their projects or something? It's like, go look for a project that they really want to do, but basically those are the skills they need to learn in order to get that project through. And then that's how you do it. So I would say, like, I wanted to, for me, like documentaries, right? I want to do documentaries, but then I found a topic or a subject that I really, really resonated, and I want to do it. So I like literally bought a camera, bought a lens, and a shotgun microphone, and just tried it out and just put it out there. And I think just getting started and being able to do that and getting that over that hump will get you so much further.
Yeah. that initial push, right? The courage to just try and not be afraid to make mistakes, because you're going to make mistakes.
Yeah.
You're going to fail. You're going to mess up. It's going to be gross. It's going to be ugly. It's going to be not good. But the sooner that you can accept that that's necessary in order to get to the next step and the next step and the next step.
It doesn't have to be a big project. It can be a small thing where,
Exactly.
right, I'm learning color grading right now with like DaVinci.
Yeah.
But then I just record stuff on like Apple, on my iPhone. I record a lot of stuff with like Apple Log. So it's like you can color grade it after.
Yeah.
And just like color grade those little small projects and then just post it. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Make it low lift it. So it's like easier, and then put in the reps until you feel more confident in order to, I don't know, if you were to do it for client work, you can do it for client work or for your own like hobby or something like that, just to get started.
Yeah, absolutely. Just start putting your story out there, right? Whether it's telling your story verbally or through these small projects, right? Just start putting some sort of narrative, some sort of story about what you want out there. Put what you want out into the world, and then you'll be surprised at what comes back. Because that's basically your story as a freelancer, from what I've heard. You just started putting in the work. You put yourself out there. You asked, and the universe delivered. And now you're doing what you're doing.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm still doing it. I'm glad I'm still doing it.
Yeah. Jason Leung, second guest on the podcast. Great conversation. Thank you so much, man.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. This has been really fun and really good catching up with you.
Yeah. It's been a while.
I know.
A good catch-up session.
Yeah, for sure. It was good.
I don't know how to end this. We'll see you guys in the next one.
See you next one.
Bye. All right. My butt hurts so bad. I'm so sorry.
No,
I wish I literally got these this morning.